Hello, everyone. Welcome to Space Engineers. I'm Duke Skyloafer. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. This is the first time in a long time that I've woken up on the Titan to see something other than the skies of Titan, which aren't really skies at all, to be honest. It is, nice and familiar given that it is still raining every time I wake up. So, yeah, that's right. We're a little crooked on this planet. We'll have to figure that out. Hey, Bordeaux. Welcome. So here's my plan for today. What? Oh, that's right. Did I turn off the... I might have turned off the auto door script. Hang on a second.
Space!
Exactly. Maybe... What is it called? Airlock? There it is. I think I turned it off. I think I turned it off last time just because we didn't have to deal with... we don't have to deal with atmosphere issues here, so... But I'm going to turn it back on just because it's nice. Ah, there we go. Look at that. And I could breathe. I could breathe with my helmet open if I want. Yeah, it's good times. Yeah, we'll leave it open. Okay. Is this... I gotta remember I'm not on Titan gravity here anymore. Is... that's probably on this island. Let's take the miner. Because that's like basically my craft at this point. And see, what do I want to do here? I want to just what? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Game was not moving for a second. Let's see. I just want to very briefly tell it that I want to start a new... Turn all this on. Oh wait, if I undock, it should all turn on, right? Yeah. So I'm just going to move forward a little bit and then stop the recording. That way when I say fly to home position, it'll just automatically dock me up there. So let's go see if this is on our island and if we can go collect this unknown signal. It's getting kind of dark, which is going to make our plans today a little bit difficult. The plan is to head down to the beach and start loading up, start to make some sort of a dry dock or a wet dock, regular dock. I don't know. Yeah, this is not really a dry dock, but I was going to build a boat out of water and then lower it into the water. So what we need to do is do some testing around how this water mod works these days. Okay, because it's been a while since I've used the water mod and they've changed a lot of things. Okay. I don't think we need this anti-radiation kit anymore. I'm going to take this whole thing because you never know. We brought a lot of material with us and we don't... I don't want to have to do a bunch of mining right away if I don't have to. You know, if we can, we're going to save the mining till later. So, now there is one other thing that we're going to do since it is getting dark. We are going to... Where's New Titan? New Titan is over here. Since it's dark, I want to do some ship upgrades, and then we'll see about... I think what I'm going to do is load up a cargo container, a large cargo container, or a medium cargo container, and carry it, hopefully carry it with the miner down to the alcove there. And if possible, let's see if my thing works here, fly to home position. Another unknown signal already. Where's this one coming down at? That might also be on the island. Huh. let's put... Let me get rid of all of the stuff that I just picked up. So what I want to do is, we've got goat running here. I want to replace that with goose, so that I can start doing some actual, stress testing in an actual playthrough of my own. The nice thing is, so goose does not have auto crafting. That's a second script, which is probably not going to come out for a while. So, trying to avoid making it look like I'm typing obscenities. The good news is that the quota mod has actually been in this entire playthrough. It's been here this entire time. And I may or may not have used it in the very beginning, but either way, I eventually did switch to Goat managing it since Goat was here. So I'm going to use the quota, this quota mod. It's called Production Quota, I believe. I might try to build a platform or something to put the ship on that's a bit less hilly, or maybe we'll just see if we could find a flatter spot. Like, it does seem... No, it's still kind of hilly over here. Anyway. We're going to replace Goat with Goose. And that's going to be in preparation for me putting Goose on the workshop probably sometime in the next couple days. Alright, let's go see if that unknown signal over there is gettable. If it could stop raining, we could probably do some stuff even in the dark. I messed around with the water settings a little bit, because there were those, oh no. Nope, it is down in the water. That is many meters down in the water. Although, that is kind of close to the... I don't know. It's close to the shore. I might be able to just dive in there and get it. So, last time we kind of saw that the water was, like, had these squares that were... ooh, that's a kind of a crazy looking nighttime atmosphere. It had these, like, squares that were popping up, and I determined that that's basically, like, whenever they face the sun... I can't tell where the water, edge of the water is here. I think we are... Yeah, there it is. So basically, whenever the water faces the sun, it abruptly lights up. And so I tried to just... Oh, am I going to be able to dive that low? I don't know. Without dying? Oh. Definitely not with my helmet open. Let's see if we can get down that low. I think we... Actually, I don't know. It's starting to get red. Is it 200 meters? Is that the depth, the crushing depth? Oh, did it just... Oh, it just landing geared right there. Okay, what's inside? Oh, sweet. Alright, we're gonna leave you here. Now let's take some parts. Okay. Up. There we go. I don't remember what crushing depth is for a person, but the thing we have to be careful of is... where's the GG? I just flew through a fish. So we have to be careful about running out of hydrogen. You know, diving into the water and running out of hydrogen. And, oh, I didn't finish saying what I was saying about the water. So I increased the quality of the water through the settings, thinking that would help, but it didn't actually seem to change anything, so that didn't do it. So what I did was I reduced the wave height, because the water was just really, really rocking, and I thought if we just kind of reduce the wave height, we could keep the like frequency of the waves, but just reduce the wave height a little bit. Then it's not so frequently pointing toward and away from the sun. So I think during the sunsets and sunrises is when we're probably going to see the weird visual artifacts the most. But all right, so let me set this thing to auto dock again. Okay. We can put all that back in, including those new seeds. So, what I need to look for is a couple of things. First, we need to turn off goat. And actually, where is the goat programmable block? So I think I might just grind it down entirely and place a new one. It's probably in... actually, no, it's probably just in the walls somewhere, now that I think about it. It's probably not the best. Unless I put it in here somewhere? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just turn on the... goat. Where are you? It is nowhere because I don't have my antenna on. Is the ship's antenna? Wait, do we have an antenna? We do. And it's on. Did I not... Did I not turn the thing on correctly? Show on HUD. I don't have to do any of that, right? We are not seeing it, right? Okay, maybe I will. It's stuck in it's in the walls somewhere. I should probably just shut it off and maybe make a new one or something. It's probably in the walls, which is gonna make it annoying to find anyway. Kind of weird that it's not showing up on the screen. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get rid of that. Get rid of that. The damaged whatever thing keeps popping up again. What if we show it there? Now do we see it? My antenna's on. Yep. I don't know why it's not do other things. If I tell this exact thing here to show up on the HUD, does it? Oh, no it doesn't. That's interesting. Why can't I... Why is that glitching out? What do I... There's nothing I have to turn on here. I'm probably going to want to see center of mass when I start building up a ship. What if I... Ooh, what if I sit in a seat and then look at the ship? That would That's like the ultimate test. If I could at least get a sense of where it is. Well, that's interesting. Probably turn. I'll leave that on. Huh. Let me. Last ditch effort. I'm going to go up to the cockpit and see. Well, I have no idea. It's going to be, I mean, you can't see where I'm pointing at, but it's going to be buried somewhere near the jump drive, I think. I really want to get rid of it because it's going to have a bunch of probably goat data. It's a weird thing to say. It's going to have a bunch of goat data stored in it, and I don't want that. I don't want that interfering with goose data. Sometimes it's better to just start fresh. So you know what we're going to do is just kind of dig around for a minute. See if we could figure out where it might be. If it's anywhere, it's going to be further back, like maybe. Could be back. No, that's going to be the refinery. All right, well, here's what we'll do. We'll just make a new one. We'll turn off the goat. Maybe we can make it show up on the thing later. I'll turn this one off, but we'll leave the other one on. Oh, you know what? I just realized I don't do this on purpose, but this is like the third stream where I've worn my Star Wars pew pew shirt. No, I don't do that on purpose. It's just a coincidence. That was a clean shirt I pulled off the top of the pile today. Anyway. That's fun. Yeah, let's just make sure that goat is turned off. And then, yeah, let's just make a new programmable block here. I'll just put it right in the corner here. Should we bury... it's going to be behind... Let's see, if we put it there, it's going to be kind of covering this light. Which...
all of this just works.
Yeah, right? I know, right? It all just works. Alright, so we'll do that. Alright. Goose. We don't need that. We don't need that. Now we're going to hope... that's not the right one. That's crane. Just says the wrong thing. So there's goose. It's not yet... There we go. Sneak peek at the code if anybody's interested. It's not public yet. It will be eventually. Fairly soon. Alright. It is... Alright, so... What I do is... We're going to get some LCDs. Now, do I want... We could do maybe these billboard LCDs just for fun because we have them. Do like a billboard LCD and a wall LCD for status. Let's do that. What are you? You're an LCD. Where's the group is a text panel though. Text panel. So we could do a... Maybe we'll do... one like that, and then a... Oh, nope, 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 nope. Oh, we could maybe do one. It's just for fun. We'll just do all the goofy ones. Oh, is that even the right way? These have directionality to them, don't they? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Okay, so if we go into the goose over here, it says G status 0. I think there's a formatting thing. There's a character in here that causes it to turn yellow, and I think it's square brackets, so I'm going to have to deal with that, but it was not on my list. G status and G error. So if we put on, I think I'm going to do, maybe we'll make this one G error. So that one will just tell us, maybe. And then this one will be G status. Come on. There we go. Hello, Ire. Yeah, I know. It was weird not getting to hang out with Rev. Nah, I'm sure he's having a good time, though. Alright, so there's Goose status. I'm still going to fiddle with... I'm going to fiddle with this format a little bit there, but we'll get there. Now, oh, you know... How do you know... Okay, hang on. When you place one of these... There it is. Is there anything that indicates which way is the front? Because now I've spun it around so many times, I have no idea. Alright, I think they need to... They need to do something with this, like with that vat, that cryo vat. They need to do something that indicates which way is the front. Because at the moment, I don't have a... That's actually a good point. Goose does not have a way. It always just picks... It assumes you're using an LCD, and it always just picks the front screen, so... Screen 0. I have not put in a way to configure which screen it is. Well, random screen direction we go. Gotta give it a minute sometimes, unless I typed it wrong. We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope that this is correct now. Alright. There we go. Goose errors. It doesn't even really fit. So this isn't even the best screen for this kind of thing. But alright, so we have no weapons container and no container. What is it actually saying? Can I not? No, I guess I can't because it's in app mode. I'm gonna have to fix that. There's no way to see what it's actually saying. No container tagged something. Oh, it'll say over here actually. Nope. Actually, I have no idea. Let's make a weapons container. Which one should we put weapons in? Which one? So we have ores and ingots isn't full. This components is nowhere near full. This components is nowhere near full. Oh, that components is full.
Do it.
Hey, Fuse. Welcome in. Let's see. Food is there. Ammo. Let's just put it in. It's already putting it in ammo. Let's put it in there. Tools. Weapons. There we go. Now we're good. And it's saying that there was the last error was just saying that there was a container missing. So there we go. So there's our current fill status of everything. We're getting overloaded on components. And then in terms of, this is the thing that I just added at Kazigo's request. Oh, there's nothing to refine. It'll do refinery management. So we can go into, if I could spell, and go into, I just need to hire somebody to type for me, basically. If we go in here, into the refinery, right now, with everything commented out, it will just let the refinery do whatever the refinery wants to do. So the refinery will just pull everything. I think I just gave a AI command to my camera doing that. If you uncomment these, like if I were to do this, then it will process all the stone, and then it'll process all the gold, and then it'll process all the cobalt, and nothing else. And if you add more stone, it'll move the stone to the top. Stone goes away, then it'll do gold, then cobalt, etc. That way you can say, like, I want to have a refinery that's only for platinum, and I want to have a refinery that's only for iron, nickel, silicon. And if you just move the order of these around, that's the priority. So if you don't want iron to be the lowest priority, which I'm probably going to put that above, probably going to move that up by the default, but you just reorder these and it'll just do whatever. So that way you can do you could do refinery priority. So then the other thing I need to set up is up here. I want this connector to connect and manage this grid. So to do that, I need to rename this. This is the dock for the go-getter, and then I have to add a tag to federate. And then what that will do is, if I do that and then go to this one as well, and add federate, now these two grids will act as one grid, and Goose will also manage what's going on here. So if I redock, Goose should automatically pull stuff out. So that's pretty much it. I laugh at that all the time, Ire, that it was like this was a joke where we were trying to come up with a good acronym for Goose or something like that. And then I was just like, I had a realization. I wish you could all see the thoughts going through my head when I think it was Ire brought up the script again as a joke again. And in my head, I was like, I'm going to end up doing this script. I just know I'm going to end up doing it. I should just bite the bullet and do it. And here it is. It's actually, because it doesn't try to do auto crafting, I think that's the main problem with a lot of the other scripts, is that they also try to do auto crafting. And as I've found, auto crafting is complicated and takes up a lot of the limited code space that you have in a programmable block. And by pulling that out and putting it in a separate script, I can do a lot more with inventory management, a lot better. Like if we look at, do you guys remember how long you had to wait for GOAT? Like if I moved something into this cargo terminal, how long it would take for GOAT to move over things? GOAT, the script I was using, you could put it in there, it might be like 30, 40 seconds. This is Goose. Oop. Goose is my script that I've written that I'll be putting on the workshop in the next couple days, at least as like a beta, you know, as we work out a couple more bugs. But I think people really want to try it out, so we're gonna get it out there. All it does, and I say all, but all it does is inventory management and not auto crafting. So it can do, you can tag containers Where are they? You just tag containers like normal, like you would with any other script. Tell it what you want, and it'll move it around, you know. Put it in the wrong container, it'll move it back. Usually pretty quickly. Oop. And you can create stock containers where you can tag it with stock and then tell it exactly what you want in that container, and it'll do it. I think we're going to redo how stock containers work a little bit, as Marcus and Kazigo have been kind of playing around with it and getting a feel for it. There's some suggestions for how to make it a little bit more, like, maybe not user-friendly, but more just, like, obvious, that it should work the way you think it should work. And that's the goal with this whole thing, is that it should just kind of work the way you think it should work. So I think the main difference between this one and some of the other ones is that you have to, it will automatically manage things on subgrids that are pistons, hinges, or rotors, unless you tell it not to. Like, you can tell it, don't cross the boundary of this subgrid to manage what's on the other side. You can do that, but it will do it by default. Connectors, it will not do by default. And both grids connecting have to agree. Like, if I'm running Goose on my station and you dock your ship to it, you don't want Goose to steal everything off of your ship, which it will just do like in a split second. So both sides have to tag their connectors to say that they want this federation to happen. Federation meaning, you know, like the two sides become one, essentially. So anyway, we're going to keep on using it through the rest of this series and see where we get. And I am going to, let's see, we still only have one assembler. I got to set up all of this stuff because I don't remember how much I had of each of these things. But let's just make up some numbers. So 200 of those, 100. I think I've got way more than this, but let's say we need like, I don't know, like 100 of these. We're not going to keep a lot in stock. Interior plates, let's keep like 200. Steel plates, I used to have a bajillion, but let's say 500. Small steel tubes, I don't know, like 100. Large steel tubes. I could just look at how many we have, actually, and that'll probably tell me. Motors, let's say 200. Displays, 100. Glass, 100. And then we'll just say 300. Reactor components, do I care? I don't think so. Thruster components, I don't think so for now. Gravity, medical, radio, explosive. Solar cells, let's just say like 50. I bet we have some. Power cells, let's say 100. Superconductors, nah. Oxygen bottles, just say 1. Hydrogen bottles, let's say 3. Med kit, power kit, data pad, flare gun. What's the rifle that I use? Is it the... Which one is the accuracy one? That's this one, right? Let's just say one of those. I don't really actually care which one. Let's say an elite hand drill, an elite grinder, an elite welder. Now, does this mod handle the needing to have all of the lower ones, or no? This mod is called Production Quota. It's been in the series this entire time, and I just never used it. So I wonder. I'm going to leave it like this. I don't know if it will. I don't think this mod, because I don't think it's been updated in a while. I don't think it will do the previous, like, if it needs one of these, it'll make one of these, then make one of these, then make one of these. I don't think it will. I need, let's say, 10 of those, and then I'm not going to worry about the ammo for now. There's nothing to shoot at. Yeah. Yeah, I think that will work. I think we have more than we need of all of that, so... yeah, I doubt... Yeah, I doubt that it does. In fact, I'm not even gonna... We're just gonna assume that it does not. And we're just going to say, make me one with everything. This way we'll have extra in stock, but it's no big deal. In fact, I think that might have been what Goat was doing too. I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so it is about 11 p.m. Still kind of bright out. We might actually be able to do something. I wish it wasn't so foggy. But what I would like to do is kind of move the ship over so it's not so crooked, but I wish I had a good sense of where a flat area was. Is it like right over here? Does it seem flatter? I honestly can't tell. We're just really, really crooked over there. Yeah, I don't think I can help with that one. A warehouse sorting script like that. Pretty sure that is beyond my capability. Alright, let's... I just love how I made it take so long to walk a few feet to the cockpit. Okay. Let's see if we could move over. Oh, this is going to be bad. I can't see where the ground even is. Let's just see if this is a little bit flatter right here. The ramp looks kind of near the ground. We seem to be... Maybe I could just roll a little bit. Yeah, alright, well at least the ship isn't as crooked. I'm good with that. Alright, so we are going to want to take we're going to want to take a bunch of components down to the beach and start building some stuff. At least start building the foundations of some stuff. I think we're going to end up down at the beach. I think we're going to end up probably making a little bit of a factory. You know what we could do? We could get way more complicated than I was thinking. We could build a landing platform for the Titan down at the beach and then just use its abilities. I really just want to get started on a boat. That's the thing. I'm just trying to think of what's the best way to get started with that. We just need to get a bunch of stuff down there. So, I don't know, here's what I'm going to do. First things first, we'll see how it works out. Let's make a... Let's just make a... like a cargo box. I don't have stuff. I'm thinking we just make like a cargo box like this. Fill it with stuff. Hope that the miner can carry it when it's full of stuff. I think it should be able to. And then take it downstairs. And since it's a
Do it.
okay. I will indeed. I don't think it needs to be powered since I'm just going to access it directly. So let's decide what we're going to put in it. Let's see. So we're going to need a couple... we're probably going to want to do large grid. Actually, hang on a second. We could basically just take everything that's in one cargo container, couldn't we? Like, it's going to be very, very heavy. I don't know that the miner's going to be able to lift it. Maybe I should have started with this thing like attached and then... We're not. We're just slightly off the ground there. So we are going to need... we are going to need a lot of motors. Because we're going to need some thrusters. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to start... I think I want to start with a small grid. Because it'll be easier to get going. Actually, really what I should do is make like a dock of some sort. Just something where I could build and then get the... Yeah, this is going to be a long process. You know it's always a long process with me. Let's see, what else are we going to need? We're going to definitely need power cells. Any more of those? I have no idea what the... I mean, this thing can hold a full... It can carry a full, like one of these of ore. So I would assume it can... It can carry this, even if we don't fill it all the way. Or particularly if we don't fill it all the way. That was not as many computers as I... Oh no, that was a lot of computers. We're going to need probably more computers then. Now we're just going to kind of fill the rest up with steel, probably. Steel and interior plate. Let's grab a bunch of those. You never know. Grab a bunch of those. Otherwise, we're going to be coming back up here all the time to get more stuff, which we can do, but eventually I'm going to want to get set up. Oh, I should bring some solar cells. Probably not a whole lot of solar cells, but maybe some glass. We're going to need more motors. We're going to need more of those. Okay. Still looking good, I think. What else? I don't know if we're going to need tubes for anything. I can't carry a lot of tubes. I feel like we are going to need tubes for things. What are these half-mows take? Half-atmos? Oh no, they're called flat-mows, not half-mows. What are we talking? Alright, if we're doing small grid, yeah, we do need large steel tubes. We need a lot of motors. We need more motors. I feel like motors is the thing we're going to run out of first. How many... I should probably grab an extra hydrogen bottle as well. You know what Goose doesn't do yet that I'm trying to decide if I want to bother having it do is auto refill bottles. You know, like some of the scripts, if you put an empty bottle into, if it detects an empty bottle, it'll try to move it to a tank or an O2 gen. I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. Is that a feature that you guys use a lot, or is that something I could just ignore? I'm up for either way, but if it's something no one's going to use, I'm probably not going to bother with it. Let's grab displays. Let's grab more of those. Oh, I probably need girders, too. What's the mod? What's the mod we're talking? Oh, autofill. I use the auto refill bottles, so like if I stand here, it'll refill the bottles in my person. Is that the one you're talking about? Now they're all... Well, that one filled up a little bit at least. What else? What else? Grab girders. Grab some more of those. Grab more computers, probably. Alright, I think we're getting close here. We're just going to need a lot of steel. Let's just bring as much steel plate as we can. Okay, let's see how heavy this is. It is not even halfway full. Are there any major components I might want to... don't know that I want to bring more metal grids. I feel like I should bring more power cells or something. Thanks, Kazigo. I appreciate that. I think that it might be, if we do it, then it might be a version 1.5 or something like that if we can cram it in, but it doesn't feel like a something we need to get out the gate. What did I say I needed more of? Oh, power cells. How many power cells are in a small battery? Or a small... Let's see. One of these is 20, and one of these is 2. We might be using these small batteries. Small batteries, but... Let's bring more power cells just in case, because we can't make more if we grind it down. Alright, I think I'm going to grab probably some more interior plate and then call it good. Although I'm pretty sure we're going to run out of steel plate pretty quick, because I always do. That's probably... I mean, that should be enough to get us off the ground, I think. Are we going to need glass? I don't even know if we're going to need that. Let's grab a little more glass. And the fog is clearing up. That's good. Do we have a... Yeah, good. That's clearing up, so even though it's going to get darker, I'll be able to see the ground at least. Okay. This is going to be rough, which is why... God, I can't believe I've been going at almost an hour already. Time went by. I'm going to take a drink of water here, because I am parched already. So I think you all know what to do, but if not, I'll remind you. Please consider liking the stream, if you are indeed liking the stream in real life. And if you'd like to get notified when I go live, please consider subscribing. I was quite thirsty. All right. Let's see. So we have to carry this thing about... Oops. Oh, there we go. About 1.5 kilometers here. Given that we have to go over and then down. Let's hope. Where did I put the... 7? Okay. What is this here? Auto lock? Yeah, let's do auto lock. On. And then... Alright, where is it? What is the radius of my bottom lights? Okay, good. We're good. Alright, I just don't... Where's my... Okay, they're near the front. I'm going to turn myself this way. This is going to be lopsided because I have to pick it up with one side. I'm going to try and do this as close to the center of gravity as I can here. Are we not? Don't I have... How did I turn that off? I swear I turned that on. What? There we go. Okay, good. We're good. Alright, let's get away from here. And we are heading to the alcove, which is this way. Now, I could have put them directly in... I thought about this earlier. I could have put them directly in the miner itself, but then I didn't want, like, if I get up to fly away somewhere, I didn't want to basically have to take all of my inventory back with me every time I come and go. So I wanted to be able to, like, leave this first batch down here, and if I need to, I'll just, you know, I'll either load it up and oh, we are slowing down very, very slowly. I'll either load it up in the miner and then transfer it into this cargo container, or we will slow. I don't want to hit the walls. I don't know. We'll figure something out. You get what I'm saying, though. I just didn't want to bring all of it back with me if I had to go back and get like some more steel plate or something like that. I would say I'd rather land in the water if necessary, but we saw how well that worked out last time. Alright, where exactly do I want to drop this thing off at? I want to be kind of close to the water's edge here. The very murky water's edge. Let's see about like right. Maybe like right here. And I'm kind of concerned that it's going to just roll into the water, but alright, and then I'm going to need some light, so let's see if we can just kind of park this thing. I want to build, like, basically right there, or that, well, I guess maybe right here, because there's a unmovable plant right there. Break the bottom of the ship. So let's maybe park the miner, like, here-ish, so we could use its spotlights. Alright, do we need anything? We don't need the ore detector on. Don't need the antenna on. Yeah, that's good. Alright, one thing I didn't do, though, is I forgot to fill up... Oh, no, I did fill up when I sat in the cockpit. Never mind. Okay. Well, good. Now we've arrived here. This is where we will build the thing. Now, one thing I wanted to actually try, and I don't know if, since it's so dark out, if it's going to make a difference here, but there are some settings we could change to maybe make the water look a little bit better, and you can see right now that there's a kind of a weird transparency to it, you know? So give me a second. I wanted to try turning off that transparency, which is... Isn't it just like W transparent or something like that? Hang on. I'm scrolling through the list of commands here. W transparent. So we could see. Transparent. Oh, I guess it wasn't transparent. And now it is transparent. Actually, that might actually make it look a little bit better. We'll see when the sun comes out if that actually looks a little bit better. I thought that this part here was the transparency that we were going to... I'll be honest with you. That scared me a little bit. Those noises are kind of loud. Are they too loud? Do I need to... Can I adjust those? I don't even know. Let me know if those are too loud. I could turn them down. They're loud in my ear set, but I don't know. Anyway, what I want to build is something right here where we can kind of build a couple of hold on, let me get rid of the... There we go. Something that I can use to lift the boat in and out of the water, basically. So we're just going to kind of scaffold this out with some steel plate here. And I believe, if I recall, steel plate is the most buoyant individual block, although it has to be completely welded, I believe, to become buoyant. Let's find out. Light armor block. No, it's probably too shallow here. Has the most empty space in it, so that's what we're going to build our boat out of. So let's... But we're not actually going to do that. We're just going to try to build like a... something here. Probably made this a little bit too close to the shore, but something that goes out like... This is why I'm going to keep my helmet closed for a bit, because I'm going to walk in and out of the water. But something like this, where we can then have the, you know, build the boat in the middle here and have it like come in and dock up. Now, this might be too small. I'm not sure. But, wow, look at them bubbles. Cool, cool, very cool. So let's maybe make this stuck in the ground here. Stuck in the ground at the very end there. And then I want to do something like a... oh, I really should have... It just occurred to me that if I wanted to do a piston on the end here to lift stuff in and out of the water, I should have really probably brought more stuff, because I think this is going to, like... That's the top square. It's going to use up the majority of my, like, steel tubes, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. This will be fine. So if I do a... like a piston here... And then this that's attached to the piston, right? I think. I actually don't know. I need to make something to power this, and so I'm thinking we're gonna do like a... Maybe we'll go back like this, and then end up doing some kind of like wind tower or something down here just to get some power on here. And then this part... Trying to decide how much I want to just kind of prototype this and how much I want it to be, this is what it actually looks like, kind of thing. And you know what else? I'm tired of this type. I want to go back to my beloved sci-fi armor. And let's... Actually, this should probably be made of, like, wood or something, but let's do... Oh, look at this. Extremely diverse color palette. Let's make it lighter. I think I want it to be a little bit yellower. Kind of like that. Okay. Let's just make this entire grid this color, and then we'll just, yeah, you know, I don't really like the yellow. Let's move it back toward the green. It's like a bluish greenish. We'll turn that down a little bit. Slightly green tinted white. Yeah. Get out of here. All right, so what I want to do with this piston is basically like this, and like, I don't know, I'm kind of thinking is that gonna be, am I gonna be able to fit, I'm not gonna be able to fit another one under there. I'll have to, so anyway, I'm thinking we're going to, excuse me, have this, put like a mag plate on the front of that or something. And then when the boat comes in, it can just snap to the front of it. And then we can use the piston to raise it out of the water. And then we could work on it without having it like bobbing around and stuff. But we're going to have to, I think I'm going to actually have to, you know what, actually that's a good point, dude. Good point. I think we're going to have to push it further forward anyway, so... what if we... Like, it really should kind of be there-ish. Maybe even out that far? Yeah, to give it a little bit of a... Yeah. All right, let's just plan on that for now. We'll just do a regular old mag plate on the end. All right, let's get some power to this thing. Let's see. We're going to want... I guess at some point we are going to probably want it to... Okay. So at some point, we're probably going to end up redoing this whole thing and doing it with conveyors so that we can, like, have a boat come back and actually, like, dock up to here and then be raised in and out of the water. So, but I think at that point we'll be taking out so much of this structure that it won't really matter where the piping is. But that does mean that I definitely want to put my wind turbines far enough away that they're hopefully not going to get in the way of anything. Like any future building, we could just... That's probably fine, like right there. I always love to do the columns. Do I have the columns in here? Where are columns these days? Are they in the truss? Yeah, there we go. The interior. Let's go 1, 2. We're far enough away from all the stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 for good luck. And then I'm just going to do my classic power flower tower. We'll put some lights on it too. Alright, and then it's called a wind turbine. Let's do the big one on top because it looks cooler. Alright. That's 4 and 1 of those. Oh, this guy. It just occurred to me that maybe I should... I'm just going to do the top one, actually. Oh. Well, oh, jeez. Great. Just pulled all the parts for the small ones. Let's just do all the small ones. I was just thinking, I don't need a ton of power. I don't know why. I don't need to build every single one of these to begin with, so... But since I got the parts, we could always take one down if we need like a motor or something. I don't know that !help is going to get you help. Just so you're aware. Bordeaux. Alright. So now we should hopefully have power to this thing. Let's see if we do. Beautiful. Beautiful. How do you check your balance? I think it's points. ! Points, I think is what it is. And then I think top is how to see who has the most stuff. Shanix. Alright, let's get a... Yeah, there we go. You have 100. So the way you earn points, the way you earn Shanix is by talking in chat. It's the same as on like Irestream and Revstream and everything, but you earn a certain amount of Shanix when you talk in chat. Every time it sees you, talking and everything, it gives you a certain amount of Shanix. So, right. So I'm just gonna put like a little thing right here, and I think I need suggestions, not immediately, but in the near future, suggestions for the name of this dock, the name of this oceanside facility. Let's see, am I going to start with... might start with not a mag plate, but how's this? What's the Botany Bay is not terrible. We should also name this lake, which is actually most of the planet, now that I think about it, but what this alcove should be. The something cove is what we should call this, and then this could be Botany Bay. I mean, I'm probably going to end up building a farm down here, too, so... Oh, which reminds me, did I bring food? I didn't bring food with me, so I might be taking a trip back to the, might be taking a trip back to the Titan soon. Alright, so I'm trying to decide if I am starting with just a mag plate and trying to figure out how to attach something to it to start a boat, or if I should just build off of like a hinge. Oh, there's weather. Of course there's weather. Oh, I should maybe build a battery on here too. Yeah. Nah, we'll build a battery eventually, but not now. Oh, I do need a way... yeah. Okay. Alright, so I'm thinking through. This boat is going to be hydrogen powered because why not? Well, I'm sitting on water. It's like free ice. Got to think that part through though, because we don't want to. Yeah, let's just prototype a stupid looking boat. We should be able to get something that floats. So let's do a hinge to start with, just so that I can make sure that it's not just gonna. I mean, to be honest, I don't know how to get a block. Actually, maybe I do. Hold on. Let's try this. Let's try this one time. I was trying to think. Here's the problem I was thinking of was, how do I get a block to attach to that mag plate from the, when it's completely vertical. And maybe it just will do it if I spawn a block close enough. So we're going to try it. As long as auto lock is on. And I'm also going to put... I don't have anything on me, do I? I need to put some ramps in some places so that I can get around. So I'm going to, since I have limited hydrogen down here at the moment, I want to try to play this almost like I have no jetpack, so that I can save my jetpacks for when I fall in the water. Alright, let's see if... No, stop. Let's see if this works. Can I get... Ah! There we go. Perfect. Oh, that's pretty spot on, to be honest. If I'm being honest. Let's make a place for me to walk across here. So this is going to be a fairly simplistic boat. We're going to go... Okay. We're not going to make it too crazy, because this is the first boat. And we'll probably end up using this boat just for simple things. And then tossing it out and making better boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, we could do... Actually, might be a good idea to do something like a pontoon boat. What do we have in terms of small grid containers now? We have this thing. Yeah, we could do like a pontoon boat. Or we could do more of a... let's think that through. A pontoon boat would work. So pontoon boat, if you don't know, is a boat that sits on, instead of using its own, like the displacement of its hull is essentially two or more empty tubes that float, and then you just put like a platform on it and hang out on it and drink tequila and stuff. So we could do pontoons. And maybe pontoons would be good to have on it anyway to give it some stability. So the thing about the water mod is we want to maximize buoyancy. In fact, center of buoyancy should show me... Huh. Oh, good, it moves around. Is it showing me... Is it showing me the base, or is it showing me the small grid here? Do I have to be looking at it? I think I might have to be looking at it. I might have been looking at the wrong thing. Turn that off. What if I'm looking at this? No, still doing that. Well, that seems useless for now. But maybe when we are a little bit closer to doing this, we could also turn on center mass. Anyway, what I was going to say was we need to kind of maximize the airtight space inside the boat. An airtight space filled with air will provide buoyancy. Empty oxygen and hydrogen containers will also provide buoyancy. And then when we get around to, because the ultimate goal is going underwater and trying to get all the way to the bottom of the ocean, we can use tanks and doors for ballast, essentially. So what we'll do is, since we can draw ice with a collector directly out of the water, so we can generate infinite ice out of this water, and we can use that to fill tanks. And when the tanks fill, they lose buoyancy, and so we can fill tanks to allow us to go down, and then we can basically, I don't know, vent the tanks somehow. I have to think about that in order to gain us buoyancy to go back up. We can also, what might be even better to do is, like, if we have an airtight space within the ship, if we take ice and fill it with air, it will become buoyant and we will go up more easily. If we open a door on the side and all the air goes out, then that will no longer have any buoyancy and we will go down. So we have to balance the fact that the hull itself is either going to be buoyant or too heavy. So, like, light armor blocks are more buoyant than heavy. Like, they will just float on their own, because the assumption is that they are essentially empty blocks of air. Heavy armor blocks, I believe, will sink. Various other blocks, there's math. The math is on the mod webpage to figure out what's going on. But so that the goal is basically eventually to make a ship, and we can always, like, just use thrusters to go up and go down, but it will be easier for us if we're not fighting against our own buoyancy, because we will naturally we will want to be not buoyant when we get all the way down, but when we want to go back up, we don't want to have to essentially become a rocket ship, because when we get back to the top, if we're not using thrusters to hold us up, we'll just sink back down again. So we want to have some sort of a passive buoyancy to bring us back up, and we want to get rid of that when we want to go down. And then when we're down at the bottom, we could just use thrusters, propellers to move around however we want. But anyway, that's the goal. The goal for today, or at least for the first boat, is not any sort of change in buoyancy. It's just to make something that is buoyant. And so for that, I'm just going to do like an ugly kind of hull that we can fill with air. And I think I'm not going to do... you know what, how big... We might be able to do something with some pontoons. Hold on. Tank. Where's the tank? So that would be a very... Oh, there we go. These might be some good pontoons, or something we could put on the very bottom to give us some buoyancy. This is awkwardly shaped. So this is what I was thinking. If we were to make a larger small grid ship, we could maybe use these on the sides as floaties. Or these. These might be good too. So what's the... These have a... I can't read the thing there. Let's see. These have a 15 kiloliter capacity, and these are 3 kiloliter. Oh. I didn't realize that they were... I didn't realize that these new ones... I want the little ones. That these ones are only a fifth the capacity. Oh, this is hydrogen, though. I guess that makes a difference. And well, kiloliters is kiloliters. That's volume. So somehow this is 1/5 of the volume of this. Just one is hydrogen and one is oxygen. So I might put some of these near the bottom for additional. What's the air tightness of these? Not great. Not great. So that, I'm gonna have to put them on the outside of the hull, which I could still do. Okay, cool. So there's what we're gonna do. We are going to go figure out how far back we need to go. How long is this boat going to be? It should be pretty long. You know what I might want to do is set up
Energy low.
Set up some sort of O2 H2 gen for myself. Although I think this ship has... No, it doesn't have any H2. So I'm going to need to set up an H2 gen for myself. And I should put a battery on here just because... that's no... We're not really using power anyway. It's fine. We will if I set up an O2 gen for myself, though. Let's do that. Let's do that now before I forget, and then we end up, like, in a, on the boat, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I have no oxygen, or something like that. Are these the same cost? No, they're not. Let's do this one. Let's do one of these, and then a collector. And so what we're going to do is... oh, there's no side collector. Side thing. I was hoping there was a side thing. Let's see, how do I want to do this then? We could go... Oh, you know, we could do it... Yeah, here, let's do this. Not that. Yeah, let's go maybe from, like, right here. We'll go out a little like this. Put our collector down, and then put our O2 gen on top of it. Then what this will do is... this will let me fill up... actually, maybe I could just put a... Do I have the parts for a refill? That might be even better. I definitely have plenty of parts. We're going to just end up using up all my parts for this kind of stuff, but we'll just do one of these. Alright. So let's see if that's going to be running... we'll probably just turn this on and off as needed, but I should definitely put a battery down on here. We brought plenty of parts. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We'll put it... I don't know, we'll put it right. I hope I brought enough power cells. I thought I brought enough power cells for at least a large battery and then some small ones. We have 40 left. That'll be enough for some small batteries, but mostly we're going to be using hydrogen power on the boat, so it does not matter as much. Is this walkway going to be partially underwater? That's fine. So, I think this will work, even though it's partially stuck in the ground. But that collector, I'm going to hurry up and come over here. That collector should be, yeah, automatically collecting ice. As long as it's in the water, it's just collecting ice. So we're going to shut it off. This thing is going to use max required 1 kilowatt as long as I'm not using it. So that's totally fine. And then we'll leave that on. We'll leave the collector off. But now I can get some power and get some more hydrogen, more oxygen, all that. What I don't have is a way to get more food. So we'll just wait a while and then we'll head back when I'm starving. The sun might be coming up pretty soon. Oh, which way does the sun come up here? Oh, I should have looked at that. Sun doesn't rise in the east on this planet, I don't think. I can't tell. Anyway. Well, now that I got that, I don't mind using the hydrogen a little bit more. But let's take a bunch of that. Just giving myself a little more runway here. Alright, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of blocks in the water, I think, when we're done. It's a fun change of pace being in the water here. We're going to need some light. Because, I mean, we never do that. Alright, I feel like this will be a long enough boat. This one's not going to be pretty. The goal is not pretty. The goal is, can we make a thing that floats? And I think we will be able to. So how far, like how deep, how tall do we want to make it? Because I'm going to end up, I want to lower the center of mass as much as possible. So we're probably going to, the floor of it is probably going to be around this level. And then we'll get some sort of a cockpit stand or something in there. And some other stuff. It's bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. We need room for like all of our fishing supplies and stuff. So we're gonna actually maybe that should be where the floor is. Well, I would do that anyway. Maybe that's where the floor is, and then we come down to about. Maybe that's as far down as we go. Just trying to decide, that's going to be a pretty big airtight space. I bet you that, as is, this is probably a pretty stable boat. It's going to be really flat in the front and on the sides and everything. It's going to be a cube, or a brick. It's going to be a floating brick. And then we could make it better after we prove out that it works, is my thinking. So, I should see, is there a space engineer suit that looks more underwatery? I don't know. A water engineer? I'm very excited for water in Space Engineers 2. I think that's going to be very good. Alright, so now I'm wondering, I think I may have made this too big. I think I've made this too big. I think we're going to make it smaller. We're going to come back out. It does not need to be. Doesn't need to be this wide. It doesn't need to be this long. It does not need it, Sam. I am. Boy, I am bad at this. Yeah, okay. I think we're going to come in by 2. Then, it was already uneven, wasn't it? Oh, maybe not. So, because then our cockpit will be like 3 wide. We'll have a little bit of extra space. You're going to check your pig. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope your pig's okay. Then, if it's going to be, like, that wide, I'm thinking it really only needs to be, like, this long. Maybe a little longer. No, actually, that seems to be too long. I think we're going to go... okay, I think it needs to be longer than that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go... let's see. What if we tried to make the front a little bit? So we'll go down 2. Okay. And then this is our actual floor here. Okay. Oh, is that right? No. No, actually, let's do that. Let's go with that. That's our actual floor. And then... What do I hear? Is that an unknown signal noise? I thought I heard an unknown signal noise. If we did... Like... Welcome back, Bordo. If we did... Because we don't have to... So, like, if we did this... Okay. Which we don't need to do, because I don't have the aerodynamics mod in. Because that has other implications. But if we did this... And then we... tried to swing around... this is the opposite of what I want to do, isn't it? Yeah. We tried to swing around like now. Oh, well, that's actually good. Maybe I am for... I think I know what I'm looking for, and I think it is actually one of these. I think it's this guy. Yep. That sounded like a shark or something. Fairly certain there's no other wildlife in this water aside from salmon or whatever, but now, I think what I want to do is... Ooh, I was going to do those pontoon little things. I don't think I'm going to do this. I think we're going to see if this thing can just float on its own. And if it sinks to the bottom, then we'll add some pontoons. Now, I'm probably going to need to make... I think we're going to need to raise this up a bit and then... lower this down by 1, because I do want this to go all the way to the bottom in case we need to like take this and push it, you know, like if it sinks down to the bottom and we need to like scooch it back up and connect it up and then pull it back out of the water or something. Okay. I think this is looking good so far. Kind of want to turn on the center of buoyancy again soon and see if it starts to actually hone in on anything. But I think the fact that this is going to be, like, we're going to have the center of gravity, center of mass, be pretty low on it. So, at least I think we will. All right, what did I do on the front here? It was, we went down 2. No, we didn't. Yeah, we went down 2, but not on the very corners. Okay. Okay. I don't. Are there any mods that add creatures to the water mod? I don't think there are. Like underwater creatures. I don't think that's a thing, right? Would be fun to add a little extra challenge to the water. You know, it's like not only do we right now that the actual challenge, and this is going to be a real challenge for us, is that there is a crush depth, and depending on the composition of your boat, it may not survive all the way down to the very bottom of oh, there's light up here. You know, that night wasn't very long, or at least it didn't feel very. Yeah, there are fish, but they don't attack you. They're just decorative fish. I already ran into one somewhere over there. They're decorative fish. Did do that there. All right, let me weld all this up. It shouldn't take long because they're all single steel plate things.
Energy flow.
Turn that into a song. Okay, let me go charge up. Oh, it's over here. I'm gonna try to avoid creating like a whole food system down here with like algae and kelp crisp and stuff. At least for now. Like we'll probably at some point soon get to making like a small farm of some sort. Which reminds me, I did want to mention the work that I've done on the Goose script has given me some insight into ways that I could potentially make farmhand better. Like, who was it that was... Kazigo, was that you that was trying to do like a farm of like 400 plots? I know that's not uncommon because there are people in the comments who are like, I made a farm with a bajillion farm plots and it didn't work. And I might be able to make that work. So we will see. But the learnings from Goose, I think, are going to be really good if I can get those applied back into farming. I feel like 105 is a decent amount of farm plots, but if you're doing like industrial farming, I could see how it might not be yet, you know. All right, so I want to get as much done as I can down here before I have to fly back to the Titan and get food. Oh, I wonder... Ooh, I wonder if I could very quickly jetpack back to the Titan and get food. Instead of taking the miner back. Even though this is like a prototype boat, I still want to test out some things. Such as, can I rig up some sort of like automatic system for ice and stuff like that, so. Oh, that's really cool. Circular farms with an arm that rotates above them. That's actually a really cool idea. I've seen people do things like that, and it only works if you're already oxygenated, like if you're in an atmosphere. Okay. How far away is the? I could probably make it. Let's fuel up here, and then we're gonna jetpack back to the Titan and see. I mean, we'll make it, but... Oh, that's a nice looking sunrise. So I guess we will not be seeing the sunrise from the alcove. Hold on, the back door's open. But we will be seeing... maybe the sunset? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Food. Do I have a... Yes. Can I make more of those? I want a lot of those. Frontier stew. Let's see if we can make me 3 of them. Okay. Cool. Alright, I do want to run up real quick to the bedroom-ish, I guess is the bedroom, and use the med bay to heal up real quick. There we go. And then I'm not going to eat yet. I'm going to wait until I'm like dangerously low on food. Well, actually, if I get down to 10%. Oh, am I in the way? Sorry. If I get to 10%, then... Where's the alcove? It's this way, right? Yeah. I think this is a 90% fill food. All right. I am digging this. Yeah, so our square issue is kicking in again because the sun's coming back out. I think once the sun is higher, we won't see how like there's this ripple of tiles that are lighting up. I think that won't be as obvious once the sun is up and then they're all lit up. But at the moment, as they're swapping between like direct light and not direct light, they're doing that. So it is what it is. Can't be helped. That's what the mod looks like. All right. So here's what I want to do is the collector that I was using. I already got rid of it. So small grid collector we need, and then I need some hydrogen engines, and then we're going to need O2 gens, and then we're going to need what else? We're going to need vents. I'm not even going to bother with batteries. I don't think we will use them. It might be worth putting a single battery on as a backup, but I'm not going to. Well, we could worry about it later. All right, so we're going to need vents. What else are we going to need? Flatmos. I want some flatmos. just goes there. Get rid of all of you. And then we're going to need like a helm, right? Because it's a boat. We're going to need a helm. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need. All right. Is this... Do we have a small... Is there a small collector? There isn't. This is the entire collector, isn't it? Oh, it's huge. Okay. So I think that's going to end up having to go, like, off the back, maybe? On a bigger ship, we would have just put this... Well, I guess it could. Actually, we could embed it in the floor, couldn't we? It's airtight. Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do is... we're going to have to think about our... We're going to want to make this as centrally... Oh, I didn't count how many... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seriously? 1, 2, 6, 7. Okay. Fine. 1, 2, 5, 6. We'll just do it right here. So we'll take our collector, put it, let's see, I want it to be like, I want it to be like this. Okay, we're at 20%. What's this? The fill value is 94. Let's wait a little longer. All right. So that'll actually be our... Get rid of that. I need... let's see. This is going to be... Yeah, that'll come right up to there. Oh, that's perfect. That was a small connector on the top there, I think. So what we're going to have is... well, I hope this all works out. We're going to do... one of these things on the top there, and then one on there, and then, oh, where am I going to put the O2 gen in this thing? Do we need one O2 gen? Oh, wait. Okay, I guess I should have planned this out a little bit better, because I was thinking we could put one of these here, and then one of these on the other side. Sorry, I'm stuck in the water. One on the other side there, but O2 gens are pretty big. If I had made this, what's your air tightness? I mean, I could put it sticking out the side; it would work, but I couldn't put it. Oh, maybe it would work. Well, no, it's kind of stick out the. That might work. So what it would do is it would stick out the side. I think that's going to ruin the air tightness because of the... Yeah, that'll ruin the air tightness. Okay, never mind. Where are we going to put this? This isn't any different, right? Well, I did not think that through. If I had made this one wider... And this doesn't have any other... Oh, no, it does have the front connectors. Could we... Could we put it... Wow, that water's getting... The tide is really coming in here, huh? Wow. If we built this thing, I guess we just have to account for the fact that there's a tide every so often. Okay. Well, we may have to just expand the size of the boat to accommodate. So what I want to do is have the collector fill up with ice, and have a event controller that shuts it off when it gets to a certain filled, and then turns it back on when it gets to a certain empty, so that it's not constantly just filling up with ice. It like stays at a certain level, because I don't want to create too much. Okay, I don't want to create too much weight in it. Oh man, the boat's like going to be completely underwater. Where are we going to put the O2 gen? I did not think about how big that was. For some reason, I was thinking there was a small collector, like small collector, and I probably used to have a mod that added a small collector. Well, what if we... I mean, we could make the boat longer. Making it wider might not be the best way to go. Plus, that would be me basically getting rid of most of the boat to make it wider. I think if we made it one wider, then I could put the O2. I could put an O2 gen on each side of it, and it would. I don't know. I still don't know that that would be airtight. I really would like to see this thing working before the end of the stream. Boy, I didn't realize that the weather actually affected the water. I assume it's because it's storming that the water is now like this. I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool. Good job, Jakaria, or whoever worked on this last. Boy, let's see. Alright, now I'm hungry and it's annoying. Let's eat it. Let's see, what do we want to do with this? I think... What if we... what was... Okay, I got an idea. What's our... This thing is airtight literally everywhere. So, okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. We're going to put these back in. Take out... I'm trying to think. Do we want to cut down into it? I don't think so. No. Where's this? It's going to be there. So if our... Yeah, so we're going to do this. Do I want it there, or do I want to pull it back one? I think we're going to put it there. Like... Oh, I don't have a spot for it again. We could put it... I could put it sticking out. But I'm thinking it's going to go... like this. Nope. If I do it like that... does that... Does that goof up the airtightness? I don't think so. I think that will retain the airtightness. Although I will say we are filling up more of this area than I was expecting to fill up, which is not great. Not great. We could always raise this up a little bit, maybe? I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just see how well it floats. That should be okay there. And then if we put our... If we put our O2 gen on it like this, let's put it like this. That should be okay there. It actually kind of looked like a motor. And then we can do... might need to weld this up because I don't remember. Let's see if that's facing back. Yeah, that was... Okay, so we should have spots on both sides there. So I should be able to take a... how am I going to get a vent down here? Oh, maybe we'll do it like this. Maybe we'll go like vent, and then we have different... Oh yeah, we do have a sci-fi engine. Sci-fi engine is bigger. Does it output more? Hang on. Let me stand up here for a second. Let's see. The regular one outputs 500 kilowatts, and the bigger one is the same. So we are going to use the smaller one, because I can fit 2 of them. I can fit 3 of them. So that should be good. I'm not sure that our O2 gen is going to be able to fill them fast enough, but we're also not going to be using constant thrust. So I'm hoping that will be okay. So then if we seal this over, then we do get some flotation here. Now what we could also do is, if we need to, we could put some hydrogen or oxygen tanks. I guess those were oxygen. We could put oxygen tanks along the side to give additional buoyancy if we need to, if this gets a little too crazy. So we will just need to weld some of this up. We are going to need a battery because I'm going to need to kickstart all this stuff, so... I have very bad news for everybody. Trash removal is on, and I flew far away from here, and my cargo container was unpowered. Which means I don't have any components over here anymore. Let's see. I would love to admin myself some components, but I have no idea how much was left in there. I should have thought of that before I flew away. I should have got that thing connected to the base here so that it had some power. Let's see. Here's what I'm going to do. There's not much time left in this stream, so I'm going to turn on creative mode, and we're going to pretend that I still... Because we had enough. I'm not doing anything crazy here, and we definitely had enough parts for all this. So I'm just going to say, pretend we had it all, and then next stream I will go back to the Titan and go get those components. Everybody good with that, I assume? I don't think there was anything... Yeah, I'm just looking at the component costs. We definitely would have had enough for everything, so... We're just going to pretend that that did not get deleted. Alright, so I need to put in a small battery. Oh, I have battery on there. Battery, and then an event.
Do it.
Thank you, Bordo. Appreciate it. Appreciate your approval. So we're going to put a event controller there and a battery, a little battery, just to be able to jumpstart this thing there. And now we're going, and now these are powering on. Are they filling up? We'll have to check in a little bit. But maybe I should put a solar panel on here too at some point, just to get a little extra going. You know what? Let's, as long as we're here, that's a good point. Let's suspend trash removal entirely for now, so that next time I forget. You know what? It's funny too, because I had trash removal. I'm gonna go somewhere else for a moment. I had trash removal off for almost the entire series, and then I turned it on a couple of streams ago because there was so much drone junk sitting around that I wanted it to go ahead and just clean that up. I had deleted a bunch, and then I wanted to clean it up, and I forgot to turn it back off. So, anyway, we're getting close to being ready to go here. So I need a way to get air down into here, and I'm wondering if, because I want you to pressurize. I wonder if I put a vent on the bottom underneath that one, I bet you it'll pull air out of the water. I bet it will. Do I want to cheese it like that? Or do I just want to put one on here and slightly offset the center of mass? I think we'll just slightly offset the center of mass is what we'll do. So we're going to basically fill this whole surface in. We're going to be... Actually, I don't even know. Hold on. I was going to say we're going to be a bit heavy, but I actually don't know where the center of mass is. Oh. You know, honestly, I don't know that I could have done it better than that. I think that'll be good. As long as we've got the buoyancy here, we'll be good. Alright, then where's my helm? Put it like right there, I think. That's a little bit forward, but that's okay. We're probably going to put more flat mows near the back anyway. We could really fly with this thing too, couldn't we? But yeah, we're just going to do flat mows, just like stapled to the back, just to get... Oh, I should see, is this thing... That thing's filling up. Okay, that's fine. Let's do like... Oh, I should maybe put a gyroscope on here too. I could use that to move the center mass back a little bit. Let's maybe go like I said, the next boat will look better. Not this one. Let's see where. Let's see if I put. How much is putting a vent here going to mess up the... I guess I could put 2 vents, it wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, not really. A gyroscope is going to offset it more. This one should be depressurized. This one should be pressurized. Let's see. Well, we could put it... If we put it right on top of that vent, it's gonna... We're like dead center right now, I think because of the battery being on that side and the vent being on this side. If I put a gyro, like... Oh, you know what, though? Let's see. If I do it sideways, it might be okay. Because it's not airtight sideways. Alright, so maybe if I do it like this, that vent might still vent. Here's how we're going to find out. We're going to go like this, and wait a second. Then go... Okay, well. How about I'd go here and just look at the vent. Full vent is the one at the bottom. Area is sealed. Room pressure 99.9. Okay, so it did pressurize down there. There's just not much space to pressurize. Alright. It's a very loud boat, as you would expect. I need to name it. We're going to call it the Well, let's see, what is this? This is the, like, the maiden voyage, right? It is almost entirely made of iron. We're going to call this the Iron Maiden. There we go. I don't even know if I spelled it right. Turn dampeners off. I think we're good to go. So we're going to drop it in the water. Thankfully, the water's calmed down. Oh, that's this. Okay. I was looking over there and seeing that one and this one, and I forgot that was a separate. Okay. Let's drop it in the water and see how well it floats, and then decide if we need to put... actually, I turned dampeners off. Those are really for, like, holding position, I think. If it doesn't float, we'll throw some pontoons on the side and see what we could do. Oh, maybe I should... just reattach to it. Alright, so it does seem to be a little bit rear heavy. There we go. Now it's got its own center of mass. Or center of whatever. It does seem to be pretty well centered, though.
All of this just works.
It just works. Honestly, that is pretty well centered. We want... I think we want center of buoyancy to be higher than center of mass. Otherwise, it'll start to flip over. So we might need to put more... I hate that the center of buoyancy moves around with the water, but that makes sense. Well, you know what we could do? Let's see if we could... auto lock off for now. Switch lock. Can we back up? And then... Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, yeah, we are sinking a bit. We're floating around. But I'm wondering... Could we... There we go. Could we lock that gyro? Yeah, like get ourselves into a good position and then lock that gyro. And then maybe it'll keep us from flipping over. I think I am going to do the... oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. I didn't set up the event controller. Because what it should do... I know what the problem is. We're full of ice. Collector. Turn it off. We're full of ice, I bet. Oh, no, we're not. Well, I mean, yeah, we are. It's just in the O2 gen. So, what I want to do is set up that event controller and say when the cargo of the O2 gen is less than... I want to make it real low, like 5%, maybe even less than that. Then I want to... Where's my actions here? When it is less than that, I want to toggle this on. And whenever it is more than that, I want to toggle this off. And so... What is... So 5% of 3,000, 10% would be 300, so 150 is when the collector should kick on. And then hopefully, and I might even turn it down even less than that. In fact, I think I'm going to, but let's see what happens at 150 here. Because we want to minimize, the ice is going to create weight in the ship. We want to minimize that. A potential thing that we could do on a bigger ship could be to, like, create a system of sorters to move ice to the correct areas in order to create distributed weight. But yeah, I didn't think about that. If there's ice, if there's a lot of ice in that generator, it's going to create a lot of weight in the back. So, maybe I should move... Maybe I should move the gyro toward the front. to help offset the ice. Well, let's just see what happens here when it gets to 150 liters. I hope I did that math right. I think I did. If it works, I'm going to cut it down a little bit more because I really only want like 100 ice in there or something like that. Maybe even less, because what does it take? It only burns like 6 ice. Yeah, there we go. And then it collected it again. So, even though it's probably going to kick on, kick off, kick on, kick off, that should be okay. Let's just say the threshold is 1%, which should be what, like 30 liters? How much is in ice? Ice looks like, I don't know what the volume to... Yeah, so that'll just be 30 ice. Yeah, look, I could do... Oh no, that'll be 60 ice, I think. 60, 70, 80, I don't know, I'm bad at stream math. I'm going to take a drink of water while we wait for this thing to get down. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Now, I'm assuming if we turn off the thrusters, I guess it's really the vents that are probably used, if the thrusters aren't moving anything. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll have to figure out how to power manage a little bit better, but we'll figure it out. One kilogram of ice is 1 kiloliter of ice. That math does not math up here. I wonder if I have world settings different than... Alright, so we're almost down to 30. This boat's gonna get tossed around like crazy on this water. It's so tiny. This is why we are really gonna need to make a large grid boat. Like that's the ultimate goal here. So I think it definitely would have been better if I had put the O2 gen lower. I think raising it up like that is going to be a bit of a problem. But I think we're going to go ahead. I just want to check this. We're going to put some pontoons in the back. I mean, I guess we could put them everywhere. But yeah, there we go. So now it's good, and then that'll burn it down. And then kick it back on, get a little more ice. Yep, there we go. I love it. Perfect. All right, so let's put some pontoons on the side here, and let's do it with what I think is going to be very light, which is going to be I think a scaffold is going to be light. Yeah, these are both the same. Okay, let's just do this. Let's do a scaffold, and then I think I've already got the tanks on there, so we'll do it like one there, one there. Oh, am I going to be able to get it in? No, but I'll be able to get it in position here. Okay, then let's see. Did I move the tanks out of here? Looks like I did. A tank. Alright. In theory, these should create additional buoyancy at their level, because there's nothing in them. Although they are less buoyant than if I'd done oxygen tanks, now that I'm thinking about it. But that's okay. It's better than nothing. Alright. I'm going to put I'm going to add a couple of things. I'm going to add the vents, because we could just turn the vents off when we need to. And then the gyroscope, I want to do... Alright. We can get rid of all those things, I think. But gyroscope, I want to... Let's put it up at the end. Sorry, please very much. I want to do... override, controls on, off, and then my vents on, off, and then I think... You know, let's put the thrusters in a group, and we could turn them on and off. And at some point, I'll figure out which ones are the forward-facing ones, and we could then have like a cruise mode. Oh, am I not? I am not connected. Look at me. Well, isn't that something? What am I? Let's get out of the way. Okay, so that's the gyroscope locked. We're a little crooked. Well, you know, let's turn that off for a bit and kind of float a bit here. Okay, so it's not the best. We're getting our feet wet a little bit. We are slowly tipping over. I think the center of mass being a little bit above the center of buoyancy is what's causing us to slowly rotate. It's the center of mass is trying to get below the center of buoyancy. But I would say, I mean, for the first attempt, wouldn't you say... back. Oh, let's go out to sea a little bit here. For the first attempt, I would say this is not a bad boat. Is my thinking. There we go. Yeah. I mean, it's, I think my original plan of making it bigger would have actually been better. There would have been a lot more space to fill up with air, making this a lot more buoyant. But hey, lesson learned, huh? I think it's not bad for the first attempt. Of course, with the gyro stuck, holding me in this position, I can't turn the boat at all. So that's something. But all right, so I guess I'm gonna go dock this thing back up a little bit. We seem to only be moving up and down, which is nice. So here's what I want to do is kind of line us up, and then I want to go make a little change to our dock there. So let's see if we could... Oh, that's not quite right, is it? Yeah, we'll figure it out. See if we could just have the boat float right there for a minute and not float out to sea. Then I want to try and bring our thing down a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, I could probably do that fuse. We're getting to the end of the stream, and this was the prototype. Next time we will probably create a whole new one from scratch using the learnings we have gotten here. So nope. There we go. So what I want to... Oh, yeah, there's a lot of things we could do. A lot of design changes we could do to make this thing better. So we will definitely put them into play. We might, we'll probably tear this one apart and do just kind of like a rebuild on it. Make it a little bit, I think we need to make it bigger and give it more space. It just needs more air in it. Did I lose I lost my mag plate. Mag plate. There we go. Now, how far down can this go before it hits the ground? That's the real question. So where are we at here? We're at 2.27. Let's say the minimum distance is 1 right now. And I can actually turn it back on. I want it to basically be like, oh, I guess we're good. Yeah, we're good there. Oh, because the water has gone out. Okay. Might be a good idea for me to actually put a mag plate on the front of this thing instead. But it is what it is. All right, we're going to turn this off. Then we're going to wait for the water to get a little higher. There we go. Perfect. We'll just turn we'll put thrusters in the group here. Oops. Then we could turn the thrusters off, and we could also turn, I think it would be a good idea to we'll leave the battery on, but let's make a group for the engines so that we could turn these things off when we don't need them, because we do have the battery. And as long as the battery is there, then this thing will not delete itself, which is nice. Just turn this on and off, and then... Alright, so the nice thing now that I've done that is we can now come over here and maybe set this to, like, there, and then reverse it up out of the water, and then we could still work on it. Maybe we'll go a little bit higher than that, huh? 2 equals 2. Something I recently learned. Alright, yeah, there we go. So yeah, we could do a little something with that. We'll see if we'll probably make it bigger. We'll try to redistribute the weight a little bit, get everything kind of inside along center lines. And then, yeah, go from there. This is going to be quite the challenge because the water mod is not like a forgiving type of mod. Basically, you know, it's going to require a lot of, it's going to be finicky. It's going to require a lot of adjusting, and, you know, it just occurred to me if I rotate this, then this would be along the center line, and then it wouldn't be offset. So next time. All right, so, yeah, next time, actually, I'm going to fly the miner back to...
Do it.
Thank you. I'm going to fly the miner back to the Titan so I could sleep in there. And then we'll come back here, and we will be good to go. Let's turn off the center of buoyancy. We don't need that going on. And then we'll call it a day. So, am I stuck to the ground? I seem to be stuck to the ground. There we go. So, yeah, there we go. So, we still need a name. I think Botany Bay is actually not a terrible name for this area. We're going to need a name for this cove. Who's got a name for the cove? Doesn't have to be today. You can tell me next time. Speaking of next time, so we are approaching that part of the summer where I take a long, long 2-week vacation, which will be starting July 4th and going until July... I'm going to get back 2 weeks later. So what is that, like the 20th? No, 18th, something like that. I don't remember. But either way, so it'll be the next Thursday after that. Now, regarding this coming Thursday, I will be busy and I will not be able to stream. So you're not actually going to see me next week. I'm going to try and squeeze one more in before I leave, and then you won't see me for 2 weeks. And you'll just have to get by somehow. But which I'm sure you will. And then when I get back, we will be hopefully returning with Sunday streams again. Please don't hit that. Did I move the ship? I moved the ship since I programmed that, didn't I? Or did I... Or is this thing just being done? Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I think it's probably because I moved the ship. That's fine. We'll do some... Whoa! Nope, 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 nope. I was not prepared. No stream tomorrow, no stream Sunday. I do have something in the works for Sunday streams after I come back from vacation, though, so I think we'll be able to... Ouch. We'll be able to do some cool stuff. It will not be Space Engineers, in case you were wondering. Do also look for the Goose beta script showing up on the workshop in the next couple of days. Goose will be on the workshop before I go on vacation. Yes. So, I'm going to try and do it this weekend, I think. I think with the update that I made to it today, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Eddie, were you here in the beginning when I was showing how the refinery thing works, or did you take a look at that yourself? But basically, the initial thing is just uncomment them and put them in the order you want them, and any ones that you comment out, it will not do. So you can, if you only want uranium, it'll pull everything else out. If you only want cobalt, it'll pull everything else out. Otherwise, uncomment the ones you want, put them in the order you want, boom. So, good luck. All right, I'm going to enjoy my nice sunny window that I did not get to see at all when I was on Titan. And anything else I need to share with anybody? I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Be sure, if you would like to participate or get updates about Ayer's 5,000 subscriber celebration, which is coming up soon, which is going to be a BattleBots event, be sure to join the Discord, and then you can see what's going on with that. ! Discord in the chat if you want the link to that. Anything else? I think that's about it. So you'll see me in like 2 weeks probably, and then you won't see me for 2 weeks, and then you will see me again after that. It's going to be very, very sporadic. I'm basically taking it easy for a little bit, recoup some energy. So thank you very much for everybody hanging out. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next time. Sometimes you program an end stream button and it works. And sometimes you program an end stream button and it doesn't work. And guess which time this is? Anyway, good night, everyone.